How's it going, everybody? I'm just putting on my headset, and welcome to Il Divino, Michelangelo's Sistine Chapel ceiling game. I can teleport. Cool. This is like an informative museum type thing in VR, which I think is really cool that this exists, and it's free, as is the theme of free VR games. I don't know if I'm supposed to have audio. There was like a guided tour thing, but I chose not to pick it. It doesn't appear to have audio, which is kind of strange. I'll add music anyway. But yeah, I don't know how long this video is going to be compared to others. This is like, you can explore the Sistine Chapel and it talks to you about stuff. I don't know if there's like, if a man is talking right now and I just don't have audio for some reason.
Depending on your controller configuration, you can adjust the direction you'll be facing when you teleport, as shown by the arrow on the floor. Feel free to move around during your tour to get a better vantage point. Go ahead and try this now. We will begin shortly. Hold down the Inspect button to highlight individual figures or details with the laser pointer. Once you are satisfied with your selection, you can release the Inspect button, and I will tell you more about that item.
Aha!
By the altar wall, you will see a disassembled wooden scaffold and a conservator's aerial work platform. Click the wooden scaffold to go up and learn more about how Michelangelo painted the ceiling. Click the aerial work platform to see the ceiling from a higher vantage point where you can learn about the cleaning and restoration.
So we have audio now. So we can actually learn. This is so cool though. When I saw about this online, one of the recommendations people said was get a pillow, put it on the floor, and lie down because you'll be looking up a lot. And they were probably pretty smart about that. Do you know what's really strange? The paintings are 3D. I don't know if that's deliberate or not, but these paintings on the wall, I went to point with the hand that doesn't have the thing. The paintings on the wall are like 3D.
25 years after completing the ceiling, Michelangelo did paint this entire altar wall, the Last Judgment. He was a 67-year-old man, and many of his contemporaries, including Julius, had passed. It shows Judgment Day as Christ the Redeemer casts the souls to hell and elevates the saved to heaven. The focus of this experience was on the ceiling, and it'd be a fool's errand to attempt to cover the altar wall at the same time. To explore the Last Judgment in detail, please download the experience when it's publicly available.
Oh, there's going to be more.
Click on the altar wall once more to hear one of my favorite brief descriptions of the Last Judgment from renowned art historian Romain Rolland.
So yeah, I don't know how long this video is going to be because a lot of this is just like a history lesson. But I wanted to put this in here and as a recommendation because this is really cool. And I think there's also a natural history museum or not natural history, like a fine art history museum, stuff like that, that's like really cool that I want to explore, but they're not going to be long videos because there's not a huge amount for me to like talk about or do, but I find it really interesting. And people really, if you ever get VR, this is free, so you have to experience this because it's so cool.
Above you is a recreation of the original wooden scaffold, designed by Michelangelo. He was an amazing architect, creating, amongst other things, the dome of St. Peter's Basilica, which is still the tallest dome ever built. He created the scaffold in a way that allowed him to move and extend it along these wooden beams resting on the wall cornice. This was such a pragmatic design that 500 years later, the team that set out to restore the ceiling actually recreated this exact same scaffold to do their work, but out of steel this time. Hold on, we're going to teleport up onto the scaffold.
I did get up here. I don't think I'm supposed to be up here.
For 4 years, Michelangelo lived up here. He had assistants bring and mix paint, prep plaster. He ate here. He no doubt spent many nights sleeping on this scaffold.
I would not want to do that.
He had special candles that let off minimal smoke made of animal fat so that the wax burnt instead of dripping. I guess that's kind of important when you have one tied to your head.
Yeah.
Take a moment to reach up and pretend to paint something above you. Your neck is probably already aching from looking up the past few minutes. Now think about painting like this day after day for 4 years.
I just punched my
We not only
light
know how
and it
long
burned
Michelangelo
me.
spent on the scaffold, we know the exact order in which he painted the ceiling, down to how much work he accomplished in a single day. How do we know this? Because in order for pigments to bind to fresco for all eternity, in order for the colors to become part of the stone, you have to paint plaster while it's wet. This is a huge time constraint to something that's already stressful enough. The amount of wet plaster you can paint in a day is called a giornata, and these giornata, or individual sections of plaster, could be seen when inspecting the ceiling closely.
I can't imagine that.
Take a look above you at the creation of Adam. It's 16 giornata in total. Let's look at the plaster sections. Sampling how the plaster of each section overlaps with the previous, we know the exact order these sections were painted. Let's fade in each section as he painted it in those 16 days.
That's insane. Oh my gosh.
If I had the time, I could do this for every inch of the ceiling. We could fade in each day's work, starting above the door where you entered, and progressing over the entire ceiling in the exact order he painted it, all the way to the altar wall, and then finally the lunettes. We have so much detailed insight into the time and anguish he spent up here, largely because of this letter, a poem that he sent to a friend.
Ooh.
In it, he describes the working conditions and even sketched himself painting the ceiling in the margins. I will leave you with this, his own words, but you can click on the floor at any time to head back down. I've grown a goiter from this torture, hunched up here like a cat in Lombardy, or anywhere else where the water's a stagnant poison. My stomach squashed under my chin, my beard's pointing at heaven, my brain's crushed in a casket. My breast twists like a harpy's. My brush, above me all the time, dribbles paint onto my face and makes a fine floor for the droppings. My haunches are grinding into my guts. My poor ass strains to work as a counterweight. Every gesture I make is blind and aimless. My skin hangs loose below me. My spine's knotted and folding all over itself. I am bent taut as a Syrian bow. Because I'm stuck like this, my thoughts are crazy, perfidious tripe. Anyone shoots badly through a crooked blowpipe. My painting is dead. Defend it from me, Giovanni. Protect my honor. I am not in the right place. I am not a painter.
Wow, that's kind of crazy. I don't think there's much else to explore that isn't just going to be a history lesson. Going up, maybe we'll go up onto this real quick.
This is the actual aerial work platform that the Vatican conservators used to inspect the ceiling. Hold on, we're going to teleport up there.
Okay.
You can now press the touchpad to move around at this height. If you'd like to learn about the cleaning and restoration, click the dirty spandrel that is lit with a spotlight. To teleport back down, click on the chapel floor.
I think I'm going to end it here, guys. From up here. It's a real good job I can't fall, because that would be scary. I mean, this is scary enough. And it's not meant to be a horror game. This is going to be a really short video, but it's educational, and it's an experience. And look how I punched my light again. Look how awesome all of this is. And you can learn about each and every painting. Someone came and mapped and scanned this all in to 3D and VR for this. And then they recorded a description of every single piece that they mapped in. And then they released it for free. That's insane. And anybody that has VR, or not VR, in fact, there's a non-VR mode on this. If you download it, when you click on the experience, you can pick non-VR. And it's free. If that doesn't sell this to you, I don't know what will. Thank you for watching, guys. Short one, but I hope you've enjoyed. If you want to see more free VR games, I have a playlist full of free VR games, so maybe check that out. If you like Reddit content, I have plenty of that on my channel as well. Other than that, Thank you for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace out.